Hey guys, imagine if someone were to fall on this hiking trip. That would be so sad. Guys, did you hear me? Yes, we heard you. It's just not funny. I was just saying what... Bro, if that happens, we could die! Do you ever feel like this poor person here? Well, if so, you've probably felt awkward. And we all know awkward isn't the greatest feeling, right? Here's a perfect example of being awkward. You can tell because of the silence and the cartoon cricket sound, and how painful it was to watch. As I usually do in my videos, I will explain the format of the video before I start. This video is just the stories, none of the facts and opinions. The first story was a weird one. Basically what happened was me and my friends were in the car with my dad, and my dad asked us one question which would make the whole car ride awkward. I just want you to keep in mind, I was 12 years old at this point. I was just in my car when my dad asks... He asked me and my friends, how many kids we want when we grow up? That is such an odd question to ask right out of the blue. Just why? Maybe it doesn't sound too weird, but it definitely gave a shock to all of us. So, I have a theory that all of my classmates think I'm really stupid for some reason. Literally, they think I'm 3. Practically, only my friends talk to me like a normal human, except for the cringy kid who did a Pokemon pickup line on me and thought that I was a girl, but I'll get to that later. This first story was we're doing a design your chicken coop project for some reason. Not making it, just designing it. Some kids were behind me and asking each other what the measurements for the wood to use, and I turned around and told them. They just answered by saying, nah, it's fine, insert actual name. We don't need your help. And that voice, yeah, that's the one which people use to talk to babies. I wish they knew I had an IQ over 3. So, I haven't really tried this in a video yet, but if you don't mind, please consider subscribing. Thank you. This one was in 5th grade music class. You know how in elementary school there's a music class and they just teach you whatever instrument they can randomly find? Yeah, well, my school found xylophones and they were pretty fun. Basically, we were learning a song that I honestly forgot, but we're playing the song and the teacher told us not to randomly play the xylophones until we started playing. Once the song was over, I ended up by sliding my xylophone stick across the xylophone, so it would make an ascending sound. My teacher, though, was saying, randomly playing on the xylophone. So she told me to sit on the floor and wait. This next story is about a kid who thought I was a girl and did a cringy Pokemon pickup line on me. To give a backstory to this, in homeroom, I always brought my DSi XL and usually played Pokemon White version on it. And this kid was always watching me play it. So, of course he knew I was a Pokemon fan. What I didn't know was he thought I was a girl, which I'm normally okay with. But sometimes, I even like to keep it that way, because it's kind of funny. Anyway, during lunch, him and my friends were talking about Pokemon. It was all pretty fun until we started to pack up, and he said the cringiest thing I've ever heard and the worst pickup line ever. We were standing up to leave the cafeteria when he said, I have dreams of Lopunny, Gardevoir, Vaporeon, and you. I was just stunned thinking of what he had just said and awkwardly exited the cafeteria. This is one of my most awkward, embarrassing, and crippling moments of my school life so far. To explain to everyone what happened And basically what we did, I will have to explain to you a project we did over a long time. Have you heard of Gary Paulson, or maybe his famous book, Hatchet? Hatchet was my favorite book for a really long time, and we were doing a project, which was an interesting project. We had to pretend to be one of our favorite celebrities and learn about them by reading a biography about them. I was originally going to do Shigeru Miyamoto, but I couldn't find the biography of him in our lackluster library. And I was worried because I didn't know what to do until I remembered, since my teacher's a huge Gary Paulson fan. Remember, that's important. He had a book which looks really interesting that I've been staring at for a while. It was a book called Guts, which is a book about the inspiration for Hatchet. And the best part was it was about Gary Paulson's life. So I almost immediately asked my teacher if I could go and borrow the book. He said yes. Everything was going so well. What could possibly go wrong? There are 2 lessons I learned that day. 1, don't read a book about an old man rambling about his past. And 2, never mix up an autobiography and a memoir. If you don't know what the difference between an autobiography and a memoir is, let me tell you. An autobiography is a book that you write about your entire life, while a memoir is just a portion of your life. So, when it was the final day where we pretend to be them, I was horrified. If you heard earlier, my teacher's a huge Gary Paulson fan. To make it even worse, I saw my teacher correcting other kids' responses, and they were people I haven't even heard about. So when I stepped up to present, I felt fear rush through me like I was shot by a gun. So I was presenting my project with a low voice, I'm not correcting that, trembling and slowly walking backwards while crouching a bit. Luckily, he didn't say anything I was doing wrong because I think he knew how I felt. With that, I think my video comes to an end. Goodbye. Yay, you made it to the end of the video. Yippee. This one took really long to finish because my superpower of procrastination. But I have more videos planned coming up. I haven't made them yet, but I hope you enjoy them when they come out. I guess that's all I really have to say.